souls, chosen ones, empaths, please look at this from a deeper perspective. This narcissist, this dusty weirdo, when they were in your life, they were completely obsessed about you. And I want you to know that doesn't fade. Doesn't matter what they've done, whether they've monkey branched, new supply, glorified rebound, they've done these things. The narcissist remains obsessed. Now, they can shut it out during the day on the surface level. But when the people who they occupy themselves around are asleep, this creep stays awake. And it happened while you were in a relationship with them as well, when they've done this to other people. Did it happen to you? Was the narcissist always up at weird times? I've heard from other survivors that the narcissist used to get up in the middle of the night. They go off and they go and they start dwelling in their lair, spying on other supplies and all of this. Now, it's rooted in a much deeper reason, I believe. And it's because at those times of the night is the witching hour. And whether they're conscious of the dark forces that they're serving or they're not conscious, they're still wired, all of them, to that realm. So they go through spiritual attacks, night terrors, stuff like this. They can't sleep, which makes them awake at night. Then they think about the past. They think about the former chosen one, the empath, the genuine soul, the conscious soul. And it starts to eat away at them. At first, when they first hurt you, or discarded you, or ghosted you, or abandoned you, if that happened to you, or even if you pushed them away and they thought, oh yeah, they're just playing games, they used to watch you and see you hurt. So it was like a sick fantasy that they were involving themselves in. You know, you can imagine the disgusting narcissist with beads of sweat dripping down their face, looking at their phone, fixated on your hurt, loving it. But that slowly changes as you start to evolve and ascend and you start healing. They're still watching, but this will trigger them in another way. Also, because they failed their assignment with you, they had a duty, a calling upon them as a vessel of the devil to destroy your life, to put you into suicide. This is what their mission was, whether they were conscious of it or not. This is what they're serving. They're tapped into that vibration. They're tapped into that frequency, and that's what they're serving. So ultimately, when they failed, when they've given in, they threw in the towel. They gave up. They couldn't completely take you over. And that's something all of you need to hold on to very firmly, that they weren't able to completely change you. I'm not justifying what they did in how they take you from your identity or they take you from who you as a person, but embrace that you must have had something protecting you for you to not completely cave in, completely and utterly cave in. You had resilience, and you need to remember that. However minute or minimal you see that resilience at the moment, you'll realize that you had more and more resilience as time progresses. You'll be able to piece together the signs and connect the dots and see. So they're fixated on this obsession, this stalking, this spying at those times of the night. Now, this is going to go even deeper, but some of them are conscious that they're serving a dark force, and they'll engage in ritualism, certain ritualism and certain activities on certain nights, certain full moons, certain cycles. They'll carry out these rituals about you. They may have a trinket of yours. And this is what they do. They may have a trinket and they use that as a worshipping vice, like a worshipping thing, an offering, and they do. I don't think this stuff has power to the conscious souls, but because you can rise above it. But really, what I will say, the effect that it can have on you is them being preoccupied and thinking about you and carrying out this ritualism is energy. And I believe that energy can travel. And that's why some of you might remember in your early days anyway, you struggled sleeping. You had night terrors. You had this stuff. And that's because I believe that the energy flows to you. E equals MC squared. Everything is energy, right? So the energy, where energy goes, energy flows. And they're thinking about you. The energy is going to go towards you. Some of you are still meshed in the soul tie at this time. But what I will say is, on the topic of the soul tie, right? They can feel you breaking free from that, the hold they had over you. They weren't even content with the hold they had over you anyway, but they can feel you breaking away. And that's why, as much as you hear me talk about, you always hear me say, remove the soul tie with the intention and stuff like that, but you're breaking the soul tie in you breaking free from them. You're literally breaking those chains. You're breaking that. Like, they can't have that hold over you no longer. They can't have that hold over you. And you're physically breaking the soul tie. The longer you stay in no contact, the longer you stay away from them, the longer that some of you make it clear to them that you're no longer interested. And that's breaking the soul tie. So this sends them in a panic over the times that they are spending alone, even if they're with company, during these witching hours, because of their failed assignment. They're punished for it in this world. So part of their deception, again, is making out and glorifying the best life they're living, which so many of you fall victim to and believe. And you just shouldn't. This is why I said, you got to look deeper. You got to look beneath the veil on this. You got to look from a bird's eye view. You got to see this from another perspective, right? Someone is so occupied and obsessed with you that orientated their whole entire existence based upon you. They did, okay? Whether they cheated, whether they done that, they made you their primary target. And when someone's done that, they don't just forget about you, okay? Even when all's gone quiet, they are obsessed, okay? I've spoken to many survivors that have been through this with the deranged obsession of the narcissist. You're no different. So during these times, they're occupied. Now, this will take an effect on them if they have to work through the day, or they have to look after the children through the day, or they have to go and do whatever they have to do through the day, because they're staying up through the night with these night terrors, with this pressure, with this rumination constantly, and it haunts them. They're haunted by your absence. They have a feeling they can't shake. They have a remembrance and a fondness that kicks in more and more and more and intensifies as they're in this world without you in it. Now, you could have even been in that place where you don't see nothing but them. And that fades. I assure you, that fades. That really does fade. Okay, you're educating yourself now. You're breaking the soul tie. You're taking this information that I say, you're using it in your own life. You're listening to other content. You're literally breaking the soul tie, because you're physically taking choices and actions and intentions to break free. If your intentions were to be back together, you would be pursuing another path. And this can be any type of relationship, family, friend, romantic relationship, whatever. But you're literally physically breaking the soul tie. And I don't know why I haven't brought that to your attention before. But you're literally breaking the soul tie in your actions now, what you're doing. I know the mind wanders. I know the mind fluctuates. But just as you can acknowledge that your mind fluctuates and wanders and things like that, the narcissist mind is obsessed, chaotic, really, really off track, deranged. So their mind fluctuates, and they have a condition of their mood fluctuating and stuff like this. Now, they often talk about mood fluctuating as bipolar and stuff like that, but it occurs in every human. There's just different degrees of what mood fluctuation can do. All right. So you need to be prepared for when your mood drops and you feel a higher height or whatever, because that's the course of the journey, riding the waves, right? They haven't got what it takes to ride the waves. You've been through hell and back. Okay. So they're the one who inflicted this on you as well. And that's why it makes it even more difficult for them, because They made all these choices and strategies and nothing worked. You've woken up. Please embrace that. You've woken up. You see through the veil. You have woken up, and it crushes them. It really, really crushes them. So leave them on this weird, deranged behavior in the middle of the night. This is what they're going to do. Okay? Some of you may have noticed how you get profile requests at weird times of the night from these deranged accounts, these fake accounts, obviously blatantly made fake accounts. So they try and bait you. That often happens. So anyway, thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. If you'd like to donate or support to the channel, you can. Check out Zion Music, and I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.